there's no way this actually happens, right? 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 The Bills are interviewing Philip Rivers for their open head coaching position. When I saw this, my jaw literally dropped. The Bills are clearly exploring all options in this head coaching search. We'll break this potential hire down on today's edition of the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports. But I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because that's what we're doing here on the Bills Breakdown. Keeping you guys updated with every single piece of information we hear about this Bills head coaching search. I want you guys to be a part of it. So hit that subscribe button and help us get to our next milestone of 13.5K subs here on the channel. Just need 193 more members of the Mafia to go down below and hit that subscribe button for free Bills content all the time. All right, so the Bills are interviewing Philip Rivers to be their head coach. Yes, a person with no prior collegiate or professional football coaching experience at any level, no position coaching experience, none of that. He just retired 5 years ago. And since that retirement from the NFL, his 17-year career from 2004 to 2020, he has been coaching in Alabama, high school football in Alabama at St. Michael Catholic, where he's amassed a 43-15 record. He's had a lot of success there, actually. He's just back-to-back Alabama State semifinal appearances. So, I mean, clearly just taking this program to the top, and it's a very small school as well. So he's just done a great job recruiting, and as well as for running what many people believe a professional-style offense with this high school team. All his players, and when he actually came back to play this season, there were reports coming out that he's been running the same exact offense as the Indianapolis Colts. There was talks about him running a lot of pre-snap motion concepts that were way advanced for high school football. So, hey, maybe he's got the prowess and the skills to be a head coach. But he did come out of retirement in 2025 after the St. Michael's season concluded at 13-1 to play for the Indianapolis Colts, as a matter of fact, with their quarterback situation there with Daniel Jones going down. Riley Leonard got injured, and then they had to call up Phil Rivers to go be an NFL quarterback at, 44 years old? Yeah, insane there. And he played pretty well, man. Let's be honest. I'm not going to sit here and act like these stats that he put up this season are going to contribute to him being a good head coach for the Buffalo Bills. But look, he was out there dicing these teams up, specifically in that San Fran game. A couple of touchdowns that were just really nice layered balls. 277 yards in that game. He was kind of balling. But let's be honest, it was Philip Rivers at 44 years old playing quarterback in the NFL. It was what it was. But again, it's not really going to contribute to him being a head coach or a viable candidate for this job. My takeaway from it all, though, is if we can take anything away from Rivers returning in 2025, is this guy loves football and loves competing at the highest level. And he's always going to put his best foot forward, always going to give it his 100% every single time he's on a football field, whether that is literally playing or coaching on the sidelines as well. So I could take that away, but this is a very interesting interview request, no doubt about it. Josh Allen did speak about Philip Rivers and his return to the league this past year, not necessarily in the coaching aspect, but he said, I didn't know what to expect, obviously, when he came back, but it's really awesome. Just the way that he's gone back out there. He was deciphering the defense extremely well and making some plays for his team. Inspiring to watch. Okay, so one thing you can't question about Philip Rivers is the football IQ. That's what Josh is talking about right there, deciphering defenses, picking these teams apart after literally not practicing football at all for, I assume, at least a calendar year, right? There's no way Philip Rivers was out there training in the 2024 offseason for the off chance that he may be returning to the NFL. No, this was just a very crazy circumstance situation where it only felt right for Philip Rivers to come back to the Colts specifically because he was running their offense in high school. You can't question his football IQ. You can't question his leadership. You can't question his dedication to the game. So if you're looking for that and a quality as a head coach, then yeah, Philip Rivers absolutely possesses those traits. But I'm not going to sit here and act like he should be the top candidate for the Buffalo Bills right now. He's got no professional or collegiate coaching experience. I don't think the Bills should go with a first-time head coach this time around. I mean, they need somebody to be able to coach up Josh, get into his face, and really just take this team to the next level. And I'm not so sure that a first-time head coach could do that. But at the same time, I don't expect this to be a Jeff Saturday situation with the with what the Colts did back then, with that being a first-time coach. He wasn't interim, but it was a first-time coach not having coached professionally or collegiately at all. And it was a complete disaster, and he really couldn't galvanize the locker room. He couldn't really speak to the media all too well. I actually don't worry about those things with Philip Rivers here. It's really just about the nuances of running an NFL football team that he probably, we know, has no experience doing outside of the quarterback position. Could this also be for a coordinator job too? That's something that I thought to myself here. They're interviewing a couple other candidates that haven't been a head coach or a coordinator recently. So maybe those couple of names that they have out there could be potential spots for the OC job or the quarterback's coach. But then you kind of peel back the page a little bit and you read it a little deeper, and it's like Philip Rivers' son is going into his senior year of high school at St. Michael Catholic. Would he really pass up that opportunity to coach him in his senior year, maybe get past that Alabama State semifinal and go to the championship game in favor of not being a head coach in the NFL? Like, I feel like this is the only thing, the Bills' head coaching job is what he would leave that job at St. Michael to go out there and do, and I'm not so sure the Bills are going to go with him as their selection. But what do you guys think? It's wild. It could work. It could be a dumpster fire. Who knows what it could be? We have no evidence of Rivers being an NFL head coach. Should they do it, though? Should the Bills hire Philip Rivers as head coach? It's a crazy question, but we got to answer it on today's show. Comment down below why for yes and for no on Philip Rivers as the Bills' next head coach. Crazy stuff. But Diana Rossini also came out with this, saying that the Bills met with candidates in Orchard Park, but they flew to Florida to meet with Mike McDaniel today on Friday. So that's a new head coaching interview in addition to the 6 that we already talked about, plus Rivers as well. So 8 total candidates now on the Bills' docket. They also have interviews set up with Anthony Lynn and Anthony Weaver on Saturday. Anthony Lynn being the Washington Commanders running backs coach, and then Anthony Weaver being the Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator. So 2 Dolphins, former Dolphins, potentially interviewing for the Bills job here. And then Grant Udinski, the non-play calling OC in Jacksonville, will be interviewing on Sunday. But the one constant in every single interview, that's why I'm bringing this tweet up from Rossini, that Josh Allen is sitting in for everything. So, hey, if Josh likes Philip Rivers, who knows? Maybe that's the guy that they end up going with. But I did think it was very interesting that Josh is going to be a part of all of these interviews. It makes you think a little bit, do the Bills believe in their own process? Like, do Brandon Beane and Terry Pegula believe that they can hire the next head coach by themselves? It doesn't seem that way with Josh being in every single one of these interviews. They're catering to a player on the roster, which is really not something that goes well super often. But, hey, it's out there. If there's anybody, like Josh is the one reason this Bills franchise is taken as seriously as it is right now. So I guess I don't hate it too much that he's in all the interviews. The Bills are clearly exhausting all of the options that they have out there. Are they going to be in a spot where they're going to hire Philip Rivers? I don't think so. But at the same time, you got a guy out there like Mike McDaniel who's run some pretty good stuff in Miami. He's been a head coach before. They're bringing him in now. Not great in the postseason, not really great in cold weather, but I feel like we could attribute that more to maybe the quarterback situation in Miami than Mike McDaniel. I mean, he brought Tua to the playoffs, so I don't think that we could sit here and act like he's not a viable candidate. Now, one thing about Mike McDaniel is he also does fulfill the Rooney Rule, and the Rooney Rule for the Buffalo Bills will be fulfilled by Saturday. With Anthony Weaver, Anthony Lynn, and Mike McDaniel all interviewing, the Bills will have at least 2 minority candidates interviewed. So once Sunday rolls around, like, we could have a new Bills head coach by the early onset of next week. Who knows? Maybe even by Saturday. They already interviewed Brian Daboll. They already interviewed Joe Brady for the position, and those by far are the 2 leaders in the clubhouse from my point of view for this head coaching position. Now, I want to bring up another tweet from a guy who I guess we can call an insider. He's like one of those shadow insiders on Twitter. Shout out to Phantom here. I'll tell you about him more in a second. But he says, sources. While Philip Rivers is being interviewed for the Bills head coaching vacancy, those around the building believe Brian Daboll is the heavy favorite for the job. I'm not too surprised at that. A huge priority for the Bills is prior head coach experience and synergy with Josh Allen, both of which check the boxes. Brian Daboll is likely to be the next Buffalo Bills head coach. And I want to let everybody know, I didn't just bring up some random guy tweeting nonsense. This guy has sources everywhere. He had he had a bunch of stuff with the Giants. It's crazy. He had stuff with Al Horford going to the Golden State Warriors 3 months before that happened. I mean, this guy is weirdly connected. He had the Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau, I believe, as well. I think he had the Knicks trading for OG Anunoby. I believe he had the Knicks maybe even trading for Karl Anthony Towns as well. He's got sources across multiple sports, multiple time zones here. So I would take this with more than a grain of salt here with what Phantom's saying about Daboll being the favorite for this job. The next coming up, we're going to talk about some major Bills injury news to round out today's show because I didn't know if we could make a full video about this. We had to talk about it, though. It's deeply concerning for the state of this Bills offense. We'll talk about it in a moment. But I want to tell you guys about this awesome Bills QZip deal that we got going at chatsports.com/BillsQZip. I'm a big quarter zip guy. I like having the collar up there. I like having the zipper. It's a very comfortable fit, and it's a fashionable fit as well. Get it at this link below, chatsports.com/BillsQZip. All the sizes are currently available, and it's on a massive, massive sale. It's like $30 off. Take advantage. Chatsports.com/BillsQZip. That link's in the comment section and description of today's video. Okay, this is insane. This explains a few things. Dawson Knox revealed recently in an interview that Dalton Kincaid, his tight end compatriot, played the entire season with a torn PCL. That is the knee injury that's been nagging Dalton Kincaid all season. That is the knee injury that has kept him on the injury report, even though he is suited up for Bills games down the stretch of the season. I cannot believe the state of this organization and the state of the pass catchers on this team. This guy, now we know why Dalton Kincaid never saw the field as much as he actually was. And he was it's crazy how efficient he was when he did get the ball in his hands. It's crazy that he played on a torn ligament in his knee the entire season. Jeff Mueller, he is a medical professional that I found on Twitter, saying the following that I thought was very interesting. Said Dalton Kincaid missed 5 games in 2025, didn't have a single game above 55% snaps, with 8 of those appearances being under 40%, and now we hear that he had a torn PCL the entire season. Surprised he was able to be as efficient as he was per touch. He was unreal in the advanced analytics game. Dalton Kincaid was awesome in the yards per play, yards per route run categories. But he also said he will likely always deal with this. That's bad. I mean, can anybody spin that in a positive way? I can't. I mean, the only thing I could say is he was able to get out there on the football field in the playoffs and look good, and in the last couple of games, or in the Jets game to end the season. But, man, this is my take. There has never been a more crucial offseason in the career of Josh Allen, as well as Brandon Beane as general manager and now president of football operations, to add weapons to this offense. Dalton Kincaid was by far your best pass catcher, your most reliable pass catcher this season, and he didn't even play 3/4 of the year, and he was playing on a torn PCL. Meanwhile, Josh Palmer never plays. Gabe Davis' career is probably over. Tyrell Shavers has a torn ACL. Brandon Cooks was jobless 6 weeks before the Bills lost in the playoffs. They need to give him weapons. There's a chance Dalton Kincaid's going to miss more time next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. You cannot keep making Josh be Superman. Please get him some weapons this offseason, or it's going to be a long one, a long, long season in Buffalo in 2026 and beyond. Name a pass catcher the Bills should add this offseason. Whether it's via trade, whether it's via free agency, whether it's via the draft. I don't care. They need to add talent. Name a pass catcher the Bills should add this offseason in the comment section below, as that will do it for today's show. Make sure you give me a follow over on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith. 2 H's because the name's common, but I am not. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. YouTube.com/Bills News. We'll keep you guys tapped with everything you need to know about this Bills head coaching search and all the offseason moves that they need to make. We'll see you guys next time. And as always, let's go, Buffalo.